Viewers Global Window aji City Square chumukedi mare haikine ase. Aji Nagaland Flatfenders Club khan laga foundation day ase. Nagaland Flatfenders Club to 2020 de establish kurise. Aro tahan laga team do Heritage on the Wheel ase. Aji 12 noon de suru hobole ase aro aji laga special guest ase. Shri Imna Lensa IPS DIG Border. Our guest of honor ase Shri Abu Metha, advisor to the Chief Minister. Aro Srimati Alice K. Vizo, taido Indian Postal Service Director ase. Aro Sebastian Zumu, taido Chairman Sovima Village Council ase. Aro ininga nishna aji live performance kan bi thakibole ase. Phoenix and the bands, Noilibi Stonites bands kan. Aro food stalls kan bi thakibole ase. Aro officials merchandise, aro display of Flatfender jeeps kan bi thakibole ase. Etu ekla noine free photo shoot aro selfie with World War II jeep kan bi thakibole ase. Ahibi tu laga opor ami kan details pra.
Our loving Heavenly Father, we are so much thankful to you for this wonderful day that you have blessed to us. Father, commemorating this foundation day of Flatfenders Club, I just want to pray that whoever will be coming up here and participating here, I just want to pray that Father, anoint them in a mighty way. Anoint them, use them, so that through them we could learn so much. So from now on, we just invite your presence in our midst, committing all of us, this entire club, this entire program of your mighty care, in Jesus' most precious name we say our prayer. Amen.
It is my privilege as President of the NFC to welcome all of you. So please relax and enjoy the show. We, the NFC, are a bunch of old friends, restorers, enthusiastic restorers of World War II vehicles, primarily the Willys and Ford MB Jeeps, as also Dodges and heavier vehicles, which is under process, that have seen action in this theater of war here. Also motorcycles and cycles that you all have seen. These have been beautifully restored. And also Mahindra Jeep petrol Jeeps, which we are inviting up to 1990 vintage. That is the last of the petrol engines. We are passionate about this, and we have now bonded together, not only as friends, but also as an organized club with an ideology and a clear vision of what we want to become. From 2020 onwards, we are happy to say that we have increased our stable of vehicles and also other vehicles, especially as more enthusiasts have started to join us. Our ideology is simple, that we want to restore and preserve these machines, which we consider as historically correct and as our Naga heritage on wheels. Thank you all for your patient listening to me, and may God bless us all abundantly Welcome once more. Please, after the program here, these good kids are going to play for us. I can assure you, you will enjoy it. So relax and enjoy. Thank you once more. Tukna Lim Band.
Thank you, Flatfenders Club, for inviting me to this Foundation Day and for having me here this afternoon. Very warm and good afternoon to all of you. First and foremost, congratulations to the Flatfenders Club for another landmark occasion, for crossing the 5-year milestone, and for successful series of events and initiatives over the last 5 years. I've personally witnessed from close range how you've been functioning and the activities that you've been carrying out, not just within the club, but also participating with the state government in government programs, at local events, national events, and international events. So I want to say thank you on behalf of the government to each and every one of you, and well done to all the good works that you have done. This morning, before I departed from my residence to participate here, I spoke to the Honorable Chief Minister and informed him of this program that I'll be attending. Also to brief him on the activities that the club is doing and how they will be participating in the next coming weeks at state level programs. Chief Minister Dr. Nipurio asked me to convey his best wishes, his congratulations, and his gratefulness to the club for all that you do for us. So I'm privileged and honored to convey the personal message of the Chief Minister to President Sir and to all friends and colleagues in the Flatfenders Club. My good friend John has already given an elaborate explanation of what the Flatfenders Club is all about, its vision, its purpose, its background, and the roadmap ahead. There's nothing much for me to add there, but I must place on record everybody's, I think, deep appreciation for what you do. John has already explained, but I must add that apart from all that you do, each and every one of you, you are also preservers and protectors of history and heritage. You are keeping alive a heritage and history which many of the present generation do not know about. It is through your initiatives, through what you do, and the hours and hours that you spend with these little kids like your own babies that ensures that the next generations get to know past history, past legacy. You are protecting history and legacy. That's not just about the war, but these vehicles impacted the history and the evolution of mobility in the early 20th century. Because these vehicles and these jeeps not only contributed to the war and were used in war all over the world, but post-war they became important elements of mobility in different parts of the world. Even here, I remember my dad and our elders telling us that the first batch of officers and the cabinet used Willys jeeps for their mobility. In fact, 2 cabinet ministers would get 1 jeep to share turn by turn. So they would work that out. You were sharing stories about how you helped your dad clean their jeeps. I think all of us have such memories. Choto choto part carburetor de olaigine, chelemchi de petrol haligine, toothbrush safa koratu. I think all of us have gone through that. I'm not trying to sound too old here, always trying to show a young face of myself to the rest of society, but we have memories of that. Also, I want to challenge the club. Of all the visions and works that you do, I also want you to take up more initiatives, have more such rallies, have more such events, have workshops on how to restore, have capacity building exercises on how to partner, do collector-to-collector events like how we have B2B and B2C. You can also have collector-to-collector events. And we all know, each of you know, that the Flatfenders Club is not just a movement that's taking place here, but it's a worldwide movement. Across the world, in America, in Europe, in the Far East, in Japan, there are Flatfenders Club. So I want you to take up the initiative to connect with these clubs around the world, to connect with these communities around the world, and empower ourselves, enhance our capability, network, not just in this vertical, but use that platform to empower Naga people. Use that platform to elevate our state. Use that platform to tell good stories about Nagaland to the new world and show Nagaland in the new perspective so that people have good stories, positive stories to write about us and showcase Nagaland at its best. Tell the rest of the world that in this far corner, we too are having a movement like that. The Kohima War Cemetery lies in the heart of the iconic and historic Kohima capital. Kohima is on the international map, which means Nagaland is on the international map. Why I emphasize this is we must claim our place in history. We are a city and a state and a people that changed history. Why did the British forces and the force of democracy win? Many historians, people who write, the Western writers today, don't tell our side of the story. Authors and writers are only now coming up and writing the Naga perspective. A few hundred men defeated thousands of soldiers who came from Japan. There must be factors behind it. I recently attended a seminar in Japan where we were discussing about this. And one of the points that was highlighted was that these few hundred men won because the local community supported them. We were contributors in the triumph of democracy. We were contributors in the victory of democracy. This is something we have to be proud of. We must highlight that history and we must continue to tell the world what we contributed and keep bringing the world to us. Because that 1,100 plus graves that lie in the Kohima War Cemetery, in the Commonwealth War graves, for those families, for those generations of the dead who lie there, it will forever be a patch of England, a spot of Scotland. It will forever be England, forever be Scotland, forever be Ireland, forever be what their nationality was. Their generations, their children must continue to visit us. And it is events like this, it is movements like this that will keep that history alive. We must claim that and we must popularize Nagaland in various verticals, be it in tourism, be it in history, be it as a destination. So I want to say thank you to the Flatfenders Club for making this wonderful initiative. We continue to look forward to your participation and your contributions in the various programs that we are having. Next week, Nagaland will be commemorating Remembrance Day, Worldwide Remembrance Day celebrations on the 11th of November at the Kohima War Cemetery. If you remember, last year, for the first time in the history of the state, for the first time, we commemorated Remembrance Day officially as a state government at the Kohima War Cemetery where all of us were there together. This was mentioned in the worldwide culmination celebrations and commemorations in London, England, which was attended by His Majesty the King. Many of you may have seen that in media, may have seen that program. And the Kohima Memorial was mentioned, the Kohima War was mentioned, and in the House of Commons, a member of the House of Commons stood up and spoke about the event that we had in Kohima and the significance of the Battle of Kohima. Why I emphasize this is Manu Mohan ke acknowledge kore ase, Manu Mohan la history to acknowledge kore ase, Mohan la effort yate hali kine, khali Mohan nimire nohoy, holibi ahan generation kan nimiribi ekta legacy charibo so that it contributes to the economy of the state, it contributes to the creative economy of the state, and they cling on to that legacy and history, and it will continue to promote Nagaland to the global community. Nagaland must rise, Nagaland must shine, and we must grab and hold that history firmly so that we continue to unite and rise as a people. Thank you for listening. Kubdanin.
At the very outset, I would like to say that it is indeed an honor and a privilege to be here, and I would really like to thank Sir for giving this opportunity. As I stand before you, I see so many distinguished, so many accomplished and passionate enthusiasts in this group. And as I look at the jeeps, the Willys, and as Sir had mentioned earlier, I remember the stories, and also I'm reminded of the fact that each and every jeep carries a story of the person who drove it, of the person who maintained it, and most importantly, of the person who did not allow history to fade into oblivion. And as I stand here today, I am reminded of the fact that these particular vehicles remind us of certain qualities which we all aspire for. Maybe those are qualities of reliability. These are qualities of endurance. These are qualities of stability, simplicity, timelessness, and these are all qualities which we aspire for and qualities which we think are important in our lives. And as I stand here today and celebrate along with each and every one of you this particular Foundation Day, I would like to congratulate all the owners, for you have taken immense pain to ensure that each of these vehicles have been restored to its pristine condition. So what we have to do is that we have to ensure that road discipline, adherence to traffic rule becomes a part of our social system, a part of our norms and our conventions. And this is what I would like to urge each and every one of you that are gathered here today. At the very end, I would like to take the opportunity to thank the Flatfenders Club for inviting me to this program. And may you continue to restore, may you continue to drive, may you continue to share knowledge, and above all, be the shapers and drivers of our Naga society. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Today, for me, when I was called to come here, I told Dr. Ahauto that I don't have interest in cars, but actually, I also learned a lot from coming to this event, that by seeing the display of this Jeep, it has involved me, ignite me the interest to know about the history of Jeep. And I also learned that Ford and Willys were the companies which have bought up Jeep. So it is such a delight to be present in this occasion. I thought this event was not very relevant to me, but as a good friend, I have come to attend this event. Today, as our special guest of honor, Sri Abu Mehta, have also mentioned about the museum in Japan. So when I also visited US, the museum, the National Museum, the museums are so rich, and I felt that in Nagaland we should also develop some type of museum, because when we go and see, it creates interest in us, and we want to go back to history also, and want to progress further. And today the logo of Preserve and Flourish is, I think, such a good logo for all of us. We have to give time, put interest, and then things become beautiful, and we have to hold the history and also move forward. Today, as a director of Postal Service, today we have also exhibit stamps on the World War II. Backside, if you get time, please see. So, through the stamps, we can know history, polity, economics, international relations, and we can really expand our knowledge, and it's an encyclopedia of knowledge. So I encourage here all of you to also visit the stamps on the backside and enjoy the rich display, and let us take something new, also ignite new interest in ourselves, and all the best, and all the best to the Nagaland Flatfenders Club. Thank you very much.
When I came here this morning and saw the beautiful Jeeps, I started to imagine what my village Sovima would have looked like in the late 30s or 40s. Because we have there what we used to call our British airfield. Now it's all covered up, mechanized and all that, but then there used to be a place. But the early settlers of Sovima used to recount that they used to find the waste or the remains of vehicles, the car batteries, chassis, and other paraphernalia of old vehicles.
South Himalayan must have been a vehicle depot of the British, of the Allied forces. You have maintained so many vehicles, so in such pristine condition, I must say pristine, and it must have cost you a fortune. Like Mr. R.T. Chan was saying, it would have been the next time it would be your kidney or something. But you are the proud owners of a legacy that is very much part of our Naga history. So I wish you continue to maintain these vehicles, promote this, so that we can write an epitaph for those war veterans or the children who come to visit Kohima or Nagaland. An epitaph which says, when you go home, tell them of us that we preserve and flourish your yesteryears. I think that would be a good epitaph. Thank you. God bless.
Very cozy, I would say that, and a beautiful good afternoon to one and all. Respected Chairperson, Dr. Wiesel, who has always been very enthusiastic about many things. Although his size is not flat, but he works more than Flatfenders. I really appreciate, I think people, those who are quite healthy, they are good at heart, they say. So I can see many around me. I will not mention, but there are many healthy ones. They are very good, warm-hearted, always very jovial, I would say that. Anyway, the pastor of Chubukdima, sir, you have done a wonderful thing today for gracing the occasion, and because of your grace, I think we have wonderful weather and everything is going very smoothly. I'm also very happy that our president, Flatfenders, for giving the lovely speech that he has done as usual, and also to the guests, special guests in Linsa, a good buddy, I would say, and in matrimonial side, we'll say we are co-brother-in-law, because his wife also married my cousin brother, so we are co-in-laws in that way. So we are more than a family. I'm very happy that you have come. I'm very happy again for our friend Abu, who's always been there at the back of us, or anything that we want. He has, I think, never said no to our call, which has been a really promising factor, I would say that. Very encouraging, I would say that, yeah. I'm very happy also to Sir Sebastian, the chairperson, who has come here. We always meet in the WhatsApp group. It's more than a war, I would say that. So John Longmore was in the WhatsApp group. It's more than a war, I would say that, okay? But sometimes, we just keep ourselves back first step and sometimes front step, So it's like that. Thank you for coming and giving a wonderful talk. And also not forgetting our lady, the only lady, guest of honor, yeah. So ma'am, you have been so great, you have been so helpful. And at a very young age, you have now reached the director level. And her husband is also IFS. He is now in Spain. So he is also Nagaland. Very grateful that I can see the young people doing very well. Our Nagas, everywhere you could see, I'm so grateful to you. And also very delighted and very happy that you could give the exhibit of the frame. It came all the way from Tripura, the frame. So I could exhibit my stamps over there. The stamp which is exhibited at the back of me, right in front of me on the back of you, it is, I have won international award and national award. It is just 1% of my collection. And I have got many, I would say that, not bragging, but I've got many. But this is one portion I could give time during the COVID time, and so I had some time, so I could display that. So this is about how the war started, since we are into World War, how the war started and how it ended. So if you want to go meticulously, it's just a vignette, it's just a short, what you call summary, I would say, of the entire history, where you can come to know exactly what happened during the war, World War II. Yeah, it is not only the Flatfenders or the whatever that we need to preserve. There are many more items of your heirlooms, I would say that, your parents, your great-grandparents, the heirloom that we need to preserve. So let's preserve and let Naga flourish forever and ever. Bless all of you. Thanks for coming and have a great day. Thank you.
Viewers, moi logode Sir Abu Mehta ase, taidu advisor to the Chief Minister of Nagaland ase. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to Global Window again. What's your first impression after seeing this vintage Jeep?
Well, I'm so happy, so excited, and being with these wonderful machines, it gives you immense pleasure and satisfaction that they're preserving this. So taking this opportunity, I want to say thank you to the Flatfenders Club for preserving these pieces of history, keeping our legacy alive, and contributing towards popularizing Nagaland, not just within, but to the international community. Yeah.
Right, thank you.
Thank you.
Viewers, moi logode Ma'am Alice K. Vizo, Director Postal Service ase. Thank you so much for speaking to Global Window. Koanishna, ma'am, the Flatfenders are preserving history on the road, while India Post preserves history through stamps. So do you see any threat there?
Yes, yes. Of course, through the stamps, we can know a lot about history. And I feel a very similar events with the Flatfenders. Now they have preserved these jeeps from long time back. And when the future generation sees this jeep, they will excite them to know more about the history of World War II. So I feel the stamps, which also tells history, and this Flatfenders, what they are doing is great and it's very relatable. Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Viewers, moi logode Sir Sebastian Zombu, the Chairman, Sovima Village laga ase. Thank you so much for speaking to Global Window. Sovima and Chumugirima has become known for hosting unique community events. So how does it feel for you?
Well, we're privileged. We're privileged because the government and other NGOs also, they come to Chumugirima district, Sovima village, or here in Chumugirima to host such events. Like today's event is unique. Unique in the sense that these are relics of the past of the Naga history, and maintenance of such vehicles, keeping in such running conditions. It's very expensive, I can imagine, but these are very good gestures to preserve and to flourish the history of our past. Now, Sovima is privileged, and even Chumugirima is privileged because we have facilities such as City Square here, ample parking space next to the highway. Then even Sovima has, we are proud that the government has declared Sovima as regional center for sporting excellence. And there, just a couple of weeks or a few days back, marathon races have been organized on the highway, and also NSACS, Nagaland State AIDS Control Society, in collaboration with Nagaland Olympic Association and Athletics Federation, they organized a red run, creating awareness about the stigma of AIDS and all that. We have the facilities, our roads are good, and population isn't that much, so we could cut off all the traffic and the participants could run and all that. We're proud that such opportunities have come to our doorsteps.
Okay. If you are to pick one jeep from here, which one do you think you'll go for? Anyway, we're a little bit far away from there because of the sound.
Ahotos Jeep, the Secretary General's Jeep, that has all the facilities, all the original parts. That's the A1.
Okay. Thank you so much. Viewers, moi logode etia Dr. Andrew Ahoto, Secretary General Nagaland Flatfenders Club laga ase. Thank you so much for speaking to Global Window.
Welcome.
Sir, just one question for you.
Yeah.
What's the toughest part about restoring and maintaining this vintage jeeps?
Well, I would say in many directions, but first and foremost is like getting the parts is one of the toughest job, And it's like a lady, You have to always keep her like in good shape. Makeup is like denting, polishing. It's like lipstick powder, You have to keep an update, otherwise it gets faded, So that is the thing, And every week we have to start the vehicle and see that it is on the running and all that, So the hardest part, yes, as I said earlier, getting the parts.
That's the toughest, yeah.
Thank you so much. Viewers, moi logode itia T. John Longcomer, IPS retired, president of the Nagaland Flatfenders Club. Thank you so much, sir, for speaking to Global Window. Just few questions for you. How many members do you have in your club?
Well, initially we started off with, I think, 18 of us. We are the founding members. And after that, over a year, we have inducted a few more members. So now we are a strength of 24.
Okay. So one last question. How did the idea of Heritage on the Wheel come up?
Well, I think it's a beautiful slogan. In fact, one of my younger members who recently joined up.
Okay.
There are 3 of them. So they are the ones coming up with these new ideas and all that. So as I was saying, we want to appeal across the generations. That is why we encourage youngsters to join us. And we will help them. And of course also they will help us by giving us the creativity, by coining such a beautiful slogan as Heritage on Wheels. So it was one of our youngsters who came up with this idea that we were struggling. What is our sort of a slogan? We required it. So now we have one, Heritage on Wheels. Yeah. So these vehicles, these are all heritage vehicles because it represents so much of our history, not only in the war, but post the war also. These vehicles were used by all our political leaders to help them to get across the state, form the governments and all that. These are the vehicles actually. And it also helped us in our economic growth also. Because I remember my dad also, he was a supplier. So he had a Willys and a Dodge. And with that, he ran his empire. And it was, so you can also say that these are the first pioneers of our economic upliftment also.
Thank you so much. So viewers, apne khan dikhi paise aji laga Nagaland Flatfenders khan laga foundation day laga opore. Ta khan 2020 de establish kurise koine janai di ase with the members of only 18 people. Hoile bi itia slowly ta khan around 24 manu nishna hoise koine janai di ase. Ire do ami khan register kurule mun jaile bi any manu khan ahibule na pare hoile bi through invitation e ta khan ina ahibule pare koine bi janai di ase. Enega nishna ete laga Flatfenders khan laga members khan do prominent police officers khan nohole bi doctors nohole bi social workers khan brai ase. Yere chief guest khan nohole bi guest of honor khan babi tahan laga club khan ge khushi pa laga kotha aro congratulate kurala bi janai di ase. Abu Metha, advisor to the Chief Minister of Nagaland, Barbi Janai Dishiki. This morning, Taide Aha Homoy and the Chief Minister Gekota Ko Homoy Temde. Chief Minister Barbi Kushipa Aro Tahala club members Kange. Taha Amihan Laga history Aro Amikhan Laga legacy. Itu iniga carry on Krulita Hanbra responsibility law Laga Podibi Kushipabi Janai Diase. Iniga Nishna Aji around more than 200 to 300 mano ahigine tahan laga vintage jeeps khando display kurine ase ide bi janai di ase ki tahan ke kotha ko homar emde it's very expensive iniga jeeps khan vintage laga jeeps khando iniga rakhibole to easy no hoy Especially আমি খান তুলাকা parts বিয়া হইছে গলে তো you have to order it from outside কই কিনে বি জানাই দি আছে এনেকা নিশনা program তো খতম হইছে আৰু মই লাগা পিছে দেত বি দেখি পাই আছে এতিয়া Phoenix band আৰু Stone Nights খান bra এতিয়া মানুহকে entertain কৰিছে তো এতিয়া কানে মান আছে for more news and update keep watching Global Window. This is your reporter Yaungamla with my camera person Anungai Jami reporting from City Square Chumugiri.
Boss.